Okay, guys, we are live. Hopefully, you guys can hear us and see us. We had a little problem, and so hopefully it all works out now. We had problems rotating
the phone, and we had problems logging in. But at least now we know how to do it. So next time when we do it, it's going to be so much better and hopefully a lot smoother. So yay for that. That'll be exciting.
Hi guys.
Yeah, hi.
Hopefully you guys are all doing well, and you're taking care of yourself under all of this craziness that is going on in the world right now. We are in California, in Northern California, so the skies are orange, brown, and yucky.
Yeah, and there's actual smoke everywhere. We can see ash everywhere.
Yeah.
Going outside with our dogs, we have to put on a mask. Not because of Corona, just because we literally can't breathe. It's so bad.
It is so bad.
So hopefully wherever you guys are, it's a lot better than it is here. Yeah. We actually wanted to come out today and go live because we just thought it's so symbolic to come out on September 11th.
Yes.
We thought that would be really symbolic for us to come out and just kind of say something. And you know, I used to live in New York. I really love New York. It's probably one of the greatest cities I've ever been in. And I've been to a lot of cities. And obviously after September 11 happened, it was absolutely heartbreaking. It was very, very sad. And I moved there after September 11. And they're still building the memorial. And now that it's up, it's just so beautiful and it's so touching. And hopefully some of you guys are watching the memorial services on TV. Yeah, so we just wanted to come out and just kind of really just talk to you guys, like almost like a one-on-one type of thing. So, yeah.
So we hope to go live every Friday around 3 p.m. Let us know if you guys, if that is a good time for you guys. Write it in the comments below. Let us know if 3 p.m. on Friday is a good convenient
If 3 p.m.
time.
works, yeah, actually. We were kind of curious to see because we were trying to make it at such a time where everyone could watch it. But it'd be interesting to see, like, you know, what people prefer, mornings or evenings. So let us know in the comments below. But yeah,
I'm still like not sure if we're even live right now because I'm not seeing anything that's going on. So let's just look and see. Yeah, I think we are. I think we're live. I think it's happening. I don't know, you guys. It has been a struggle trying to go live. So let's just hope that it's
working.
Yeah. So I wanted to say for everybody who has started following us from my walk away video, thank you so much for showing all of your support. It has been 2 years since I did my walk away video. So I am going to do a 2-year anniversary video.
Little follow-up.
Yeah, a little follow-up. Just so much love, so much support that you guys really have just shown me, and it has really encouraged us a lot.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we wanted to go live is because we literally read, you know, I think we've said this before, we read everyone's comments. We might not reply to everyone just because we get sometimes so overwhelmed. There's just so many good comments and they mean so much to us, and then we really have a hard time deciding, like, who do we respond to, who do we not, and it's just really overwhelming. But the love is really it really encourages us, and it really means a lot to us. And just reading all of the comments, and then again, there's so many emails and so many like messages and DMs of people really just pouring their hearts out with so many stories. And
so much support, and I love getting all of the support from, especially from the Christians and from like the older people. I get a lot of like emails from people who are like in their 60s or in their 70s, and they're like, you know, just so much support, and it really means the world to me.
And you know what's incredible too, like more specifically, it just obviously in the walk away there's so much support for Zane. Makes perfect sense. But even in our other videos, and more specifically in our podcasts, so many people are writing to us with a lot of support, and it's really interesting because a lot of them are religious, and it just really again goes to show you, people say religious people are bigoted and homophobic or whatever else, but we are literally getting an outpouring of love and support. And I mean, I'm a gay Jewish immigrant, right? Atheist immigrant, right? And I am getting so much love and so much support from everyone, and it just really goes to show you that. Hi, David. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Finally,
David.
yes,
we're back.
We're back. It was a process.
Struggle.
Yeah, it was a process. But yeah, so just reading everything really helps us, and it really encourages us to move forward. So yeah, how are you doing, David? Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, hopefully the weather is better than it is here in California. So anyways, yeah, we were talking about September 11 and how symbolic it is for us, and the reason why is because a lot of the comments and messages that we get talk about patriotism, and they talk about just really loving our country and doing what's right. The struggle is real. I'm doing okay.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I didn't know
Category
that.
3 hurricane? Wow.
It's just crazy weather everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
My brother lives in Colorado, and it's been insane. They had 100-degree weather
One
on
day.
Sunday, and then on Tuesday
It was
snowing.
and not just a little bit of snow, a lot of snow.
No, they got really
Yeah.
snowed in. And then the following day it's 80 degrees. So, and now another snowstorm that they're expecting. So
Yeah.
it's been really crazy.
Crazy everywhere.
Yeah, actually so many fires, and it's actually so hard for us to breathe when we take the dogs out on a walk.
Yeah.
We have to wear a mask, and not because of coronavirus. We just can't breathe. There's ash everywhere.
Yeah, it's really bad being in Northern California. The skies are orange, brown. It's
apocalyptic.
Not
yeah,
pleasant.
it's apocalyptic. I could see why people think it's the end of the world, because it's just so apocalyptic right now everywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
So I just wanted to recap for those who are just joining us now. We are going to be doing live videos like this every Friday. If you guys like them, let us know. We are thinking of going live every Friday at 3 p.m. Let us know if 3 p.m. is a good time. If you guys have another time in mind, let us know.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, because we're over in California.
Yeah, the end is not yet, my dears. Yeah. Yeah. And we also, we don't think it's near either. But I could see why people would think so, just because of everything that's going on. I mean, leaving our house, it feels apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It really does. But yeah, let us know the times and if they work for you guys. Because we're just we try to figure out what the best time would be. And we figured out 3 Pacific Standard Time is works everywhere more or less. Here in the Middle East and in Europe and the East Coast, but it'll be interesting to see what people say. Yeah, it really is totally red.
Yeah,
and so this is something we wanted to do. The reason why we wanted to come out live is because we just wanted to do this thing where we're kind of almost like having a, ooh, hi Jenny. Love it. Working while watching. Just wanted to say hi. Oh, hi. Thank you for watching us.
and thank you for being patient.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is our first time going live, so we had a few difficulties, but we'll be better next time.
Yes.
Next week.
Now we know what we're doing.
Yeah. And I think our goal in going live is just to answer a lot of questions and answer specific comments as well.
Because we get so many comments from you guys. We get emails, we get DMs, we get Instagram, like all over the place. And as you guys know, unfortunately, we are just not good with social media. We like to be, but we're just not. So we figured our best way to be able to come out with a lot of videos would be to do a podcast, because we really want to get the information out there, and going live to answer your guys' questions, to engage with you guys, because we don't do so much on social media.
Yeah, we don't do much on social media. We're just not active on social media. We're really all about like the moment and being together, and it seems really awkward for us to take out our phone and be on our phone when we're spending quality time with each other and our dogs.
Yeah.
But we read everything.
Yes.
And what we do is
Definitely.
every single Friday before we take on Shabbat, or on Sunday after Shabbat, or Saturday night after Shabbat, what we'll do is we'll literally go over everything and read everything. And so then it becomes a little overwhelming, because it's so many really heartwarming, great messages, but it's really hard for us to respond. And we figured this way we could just talk to people directly and answer questions. And even pros and pros feel bad. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny.
Wow, thank you so much. That really means a lot. We really put in a lot of effort and work into the videos that we make. And we put a lot of effort into the podcast as well.
I think that's why it takes us so long for us to come out with stuff.
Yeah, because we want it to be really good. We don't want it to be fluff. We want it to be really, really good.
Really meaningful.
Really meaningful. And I think, especially now with the election coming up,
Yes.
our goal was to create content that will help people really be able to have a conversation and feel confident about having a conversation.
Yeah.
Even when people are having conversations with people who might accuse them of, whatever it is, whether it's racism, homophobia, whatever.
Right.
People who are Trump supporters or conservative, obviously they're not. And the reason why they support him is because of all the things that we talk about in the podcast. And we just wanted to have kind of one place where people can go and listen to it and know specific topics.
And we really dive deep in our podcasts and really go into all of the information.
We do, because we love it, and we, that's what we talk about at home with one another. So we figured this would be really great to do.
Yeah.
The only thing that takes a long time is actually getting all of the resources together.
Yeah. Well, it's hard finding the resources because when you Google stuff, a lot of the things that you're trying to look up won't come up. That's why we use DuckDuckGo. Doing another plug for DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, another.
Not sponsored. But it makes it a lot easier trying to find resources and articles because, of course, Google suppresses a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and now that we're doing these podcasts, what I'm starting to do is every time I read something that I think would be beneficial, I save it for later. Because a lot of the things we talk about, it's in my mind, but we get so many comments from people that say, I was trying to talk to my neighbor, to my friends, to my family relative about Trump, about whatever issue it is. And as soon as I say, I saw this on Fox News, as soon as I say, I saw this fake news, as soon as I say, go watch this walk away video, oh, those are old bots.
Yeah.
So all of this information, when you tell people, if it's positive about Trump, basically it's automatically fake news and people don't believe it. So by being able to provide these resources, people can talk and then say, look, no.
Yeah.
And not only is this not Fox News, these are other places that people can go, that liberals, for example, do trust, like NPR and...
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like, and if you look at the resources, you can see that they're, if they're places, they come from places like NPR or other places that people, liberals will see as valid information. Yeah,
David, we totally get it. It's really insane just because you have Netflix. And you know what? I think we're just kind of living in a place where anyone can be called anything for any reason. Literally any reason. And that's why we're so careful with, what we say. That's why we really try to censor some of the words that we use.
Yeah. Well, we'll be flagged.
Or because we'll be flagged. So those are a lot of the reasons why. And yeah, we actually we get reported for hate speech all the time.
Oh, I love Ginny. Your question about
Yes.
you wanted to
Okay,
talk about
I actually
this.
wanted to talk about this. I'm so excited. Thank you, Jenny, for asking this question. I am so excited about this. Okay, so when I heard that Trump brokered a peace deal between the United Arab Emirates and Israel, I was over the moon because
Yeah.
this is
Very close to our hearts.
it's very close to our hearts. Obviously, we both lived in Israel, and you know, United Arab Emirates is one of the countries that I've always wanted to visit, and unfortunately, I can't couldn't, because even though I have an American passport, in my passport it says that I was born in Israel, and Israelis were not allowed to travel. So I am so excited to be able to go and travel.
Now I can go.
Yeah, and now we can go. But aside from being able to travel, what makes this specific peace deal so different and so unique, and why I think he should get this Nobel Peace Prize, is because it's not a peace deal between just leaders. It's not a peace deal between politicians where the actual public doesn't support it. In the United Arab Emirates, people are actually excited about this peace deal. People are excited about what's happening. They're excited about the idea of being able to have economic cooperation between both countries. They also signed an agreement to work together on the coronavirus vaccine because Israel is developing one. And you know, as a lot of you guys know, Israel is kind of the Silicon Valley of the Middle East.
No.
And it has the most patents, I think, per capita than any other country. And the only place on earth that has more patents per capita is just the small bubble of Silicon Valley. So it's really impressive and it's very beneficial. And it's really cool because this is the one peace deal where these countries are making what's called a warm peace, where the people both support it and they want it, but also where this peace is based on peace for peace. Whereas before, all of the peace agreements were based on some kind of, Israel had to give something up to have peace, some kind of a territory, something. And it's really exciting because this really changes the narrative that Israel needs to give up, some of its strategic land, like the Golan Heights, for peace with its neighbors. And Trump completely changed that paradigm completely.
Yeah.
So it's so exciting.
Really, really amazing what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
he has embassies moving to Jerusalem. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is also really exciting because, I remember when, so it's been American law to move the embassy to Jerusalem for, I think, like 30 years or so, maybe even more. I don't remember. And basically every 6 months, each president had to extend the move of the embassy to Jerusalem, and Trump finally did not. And it's really exciting because we were told that this is going to bring war and chaos, and this is going to create even more conflict in the Middle East. And now what we're seeing, not only did the U.S. move its embassy to Jerusalem.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber. Hi. Other countries are moving their embassy to Jerusalem, and we just heard that Kosovo and Serbia is going to move its embassy to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Kosovo wants to move its embassy to Jerusalem. They're going to open up an office for economic cooperation and something else in Jerusalem. And Kosovo is going to move its embassy to Jerusalem.
It's just amazing.
And the reason why this is such a big deal is because Kosovo is a Muslim majority country. So this will become the very first Muslim country to move its embassy to Jerusalem. I mean, this is just like changing things left and right. And when they announced that, they also signed an agreement of economic cooperation, rail, and translinks, and free movement of people and goods, which is a really big deal because up until literally just a couple of days ago, Serbia did not even recognize Kosovo's independence. So now, not only are they, maybe not officially recognizing them, but they're obviously recognizing them, and they're on their way to recognize it by making this deal. So, yeah, I think Trump should get a Nobel Peace Prize for sure.
Oh, definitely.
For the United Arab Emirates peace deal, for brokering the peace deal with Kosovo and Serbia. And now, today, just a couple of hours ago, Trump announced that Bahrain is going to sign a peace deal with Israel. So, I mean, economic just geopolitical.
Hi,
Just
third-party
everything.
animal.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I definitely, Ember. I definitely think you should. And it's going to be really interesting to see because Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for literally nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And that's, I think, why he fought so hard for the Iran deal, because that's the only kind of a foreign policy achievement he can point to, as bad as it was, that would justify the peace deal, the peace prize that he got. But Trump has, you know, in a span of a month, has brokered 3 peace deals. So, to all the people who say he's a bad negotiator, clearly he isn't. He's kind of amazing.
Hi, Tube Trance.
Hi, Tube Trans.
Thank you guys
Hi.
so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Sorry for the confusion and the trying to get going on live. This is our first time doing it. So next time we will know what we're doing.
It'll be a little better. Yeah,
It will definitely be better.
Definitely.
But I just want to thank everybody who is coming over and supporting us. It really means the world to us. And it really helps us and motivates us to keep going.
It really, really does. Yeah. And thank you, Jenny, for asking that question, because that got me really, really excited. No, we're not in New York. We're actually in California. We're in the Sacramento, San Francisco area.
So the skies are red and orange and brown right now.
Burning, literally ash falling down. We have not opened our windows in forever. Thank God we have an air purifier.
Yeah.
That circulates the air
Yeah.
in our apartment. Yeah, absolutely, David. I think what's interesting too is because of social media, which, you know, obviously, as we've said before, we're not really big fans of, but what's happened as a result of social media, people are now having access to information that they didn't have before, and people are finding out, and this is kind of something that I think happens everywhere. I mean, you're seeing this in Iran, you're seeing people in Lebanon. I mean, Lebanon that fought multiple wars with Israel. People in Lebanon are now angry at Hezbollah because they're saying that they're wasting their resources fighting Israel when they should be building up their own country. And I think, you know, it's kind of amazing because people are seeing Israel, and, you know, this idea of peace through strength, I think really, really makes sense. Mm-hmm. And I think this is really a great example of how many Arab countries are now lining up to make peace with Israel, because they're seeing that, you know, Israel is not their enemy, Iran is, and if anything, their biggest protector is going to be the one country in the Middle East that is fighting for its survival, which is Israel. And so this kind of peace from strength really changes everything, because everyone is lining up for it, and they're seeing Israel as this beacon of hope, you know, a country in the middle of the desert that made the desert bloom, a country that, you know, was established from pretty much almost 100% refugees.
Yeah.
But everyone that moved to Israel is a refugee,
Oh, yeah.
whether a refugee from Europe or a refugee from other Arab countries or refugees from Africa.
Yeah.
But, you know, a country that was established from almost 100% refugees has now become a superpower,
Yeah.
a regional superpower for sure, but also a global one. And not just militarily, but economically,
Yeah.
Tech, I mean, it's amazing.
Also, too, Tel Aviv is ranked as the #1 best place for LGBT in the world.
In the world, yeah.
In the
multiple.
world.
So it's very, very accepting. And it's very interesting because I think they find a really good balance between having, you know, conservative religious community in Israel that is about 10, 11%. So that's a big enough number.
Yeah.
And then where they can practice their own faith and religion as they see fit, and at the same time allowing freedoms for, you know, people from LGBT community.
I mean, we lived in Tel Aviv, and we also lived in Jerusalem. And being in Jerusalem, which is very religious, and we lived close to a religious community, we had no problems walking around holding hands.
Yeah, no, not at all. Actually, people were very supportive. A lot of nods, a lot of smiles, a lot of, you know, wink winks. Yeah, I heard that, Ember, that Arizona, the crazy clouds, everything. I think, I wonder.
You can't see the sun. We haven't been able to see the sun in, like a month now. I mean, basically, since the fire started in California, I think it's been about a month now. We have not seen the sun, so it's been very interesting. Um,
We are still in lockdown. There were a lot of
yeah.
riots. I don't think so much now, but definitely before there were.
I mean, basically, before the war,
Yeah.
San Francisco is not the same anymore. So that's very interesting.
And very
Um,
sad too.
yeah,
Very, very sad. I actually have a friend who grew up in San Francisco, like
yeah,
in the city, and has been living there forever. And
yeah,
he told me that this is the first time ever that he doesn't feel safe anymore in the city.
yeah,
And I think what's even more interesting is he is a very, very, or I should say an very, very liberal
yeah,
person. And I think after seeing everything that's happening, and he's very smart, very, analyzes and thinks about everything very, very critically. And I think after seeing everything that's happening and all the distortions that are happening in media and just how blindly people are following what they're told like sheep, he's now really, really moving to the right. And it's kind of exciting to see. I really wonder what the real percentage of people who are moving to the right are. I guess
yeah.
we'll find out in November.
I guess we will. Yeah. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Yeah, Portland
Yeah.
is in complete chaos. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very sad for us to see because we moved from Portland to here, and I mean we love Portland.
We really do.
It's so
It's so
beautiful. It's
pretty.
so gorgeous. But I mean, so much destruction now.
So much destruction, absolutely. And let me see. Yeah, so actually, the First Step Act, we are huge. I mean, we huge supporters of it, obviously, and we talked about it in our podcast. I think it was
Yeah.
what has Trump done for the Black community, and we talked about the First Step Act extensively. So I think it's incredible because you're talking about the 3,000 people who were released. That was within the first, that was statistics from, I think, like a couple of years ago. I mean, it's a lot more now, probably. And the interesting thing is that
Hi,
most
John.
Oh, hi, John.
Sorry to keep cutting off.
Yeah, no, it's good. Say hi to everyone.
I'm just so excited. This is our first time doing live.
Thank you so much. Wow, what a huge compliment, John. Oh, I love it. Thank you. That's very, very nice. Oh, wow. I love to hear, David, I would love to hear more about it. Please, DM me and tell me because I am very, very curious to know what your experience was like. It'd be fascinating to learn from, from a person directly as opposed to reading about it. Thank you, John. Wow, that's really, thank you. That really means a lot.
We love Utah, David. We love Utah.
Yeah, we really do,
Yeah.
actually. We really love it, and I think we considered moving there multiple times.
I think
It's
one of
gorgeous
one of our favorite Asian restaurants is in
in Utah. Yeah, we love sushi, and that was yeah. Every time we go to Salt Lake City, we go there, so we'd love it. Yes, we need to be back in Utah, and when we go, maybe we'll let you know so that maybe we can meet up. But yeah, the First Step Act, if you haven't listened to the podcast, I really recommend that you do because we talked about it extensively. I think it's literally changing lives and changing generations. I mean, really,
Yeah.
really generations
Yeah.
and changing society so fundamentally because it's allowing so many, specifically Black children to, not have to grow up without fathers anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really been, and the reason why we talked about it in the podcast about what Trump has done for the Black community is because the biggest recipients of the First Step Act are Blacks and specifically Black men. So it's really changing society, and I think that's part of the reason why Trump's poll numbers are going up with the Black community, because I think some of it is actually trickling through. As much as people try not to talk about it, and as much as the media tries to hide all of his accomplishments, I think because the percentage of people incarcerated in the Black community is so high, I think a lot of people are actually, even though they're not hearing about it in the media, they're finding out because it literally touches their personal lives.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's going into the foundation and he's really restructuring it, which is amazing.
It's just really, really, really amazing. And yeah, Pelosi obviously thinks she's royalty. The idea that she was set up by this salon,
Yeah.
first of all, I don't believe it, but let's say she was set up, which is very, very possible. I cannot believe that we have a woman who is third in line to become president who gets set up by a salon. I mean, seriously? And not to mention, what do you mean you get set up? You're in the salon, you tell everyone to put on their face masks,
And then you don't wear one.
and then you don't wear one.
Yeah.
Even if they told you you don't need to wear one.
No.
I mean, like,
The
that's,
high
yeah,
end.
well, that's so ironic. Where's the
Yeah.
double standard?
Yeah, I know.
You say, no, thank you, I'd like to keep mine on. And even if you're being invited to the salon, you say, no, thank you, I can't go because
Yeah.
no one else can go.
Yeah.
It's just outrageous. Like,
Yeah.
the people who are in her district are not able to get haircuts for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we
you know,
couldn't get haircuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The struggle's real.
The struggle's real. Let me tell you, it's very, very, very
Yeah.
real.
And we're still on lockdown. There are some things that are open with restrictions. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are going to be coming out with future podcasts, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, we were asked what our next topics are, and
Yeah.
so that's one of the things we wanted to talk about. So we're filming a podcast about what Trump has done for women tomorrow. This is all part of.
Well, it won't be coming out tomorrow.
Oh, it won't be coming out tomorrow. We'll
No.
film it tomorrow.
No. After we go live, we're
yeah.
going to go. We're gonna Shabbat.
Yeah, we're gonna Shabbat and take a moment. So I guess not tomorrow, on Sunday, we'll be filming it because
Yeah.
Shabbat. But we'll film what Trump has done for women on Sunday, and it's all part of the same kind of idea of what Trump has done for minorities.
Yeah.
So thank you, Miss Droplet. I don't think she's paying attention to her channel anymore. Maybe she does. I don't know. Let us know, Miss Droplet. We hope you do. Because I don't think she was a Trump supporter, and I'm not sure
Amber, you can
she
find
was excited.
You can find our podcast on our YouTube page, but we're also on iTunes and Spotify. So just House of DMaaj, and you'll find
Yeah.
us there.
And we actually got a comment, I think, on both, right? Spotify and
I don't know if you can comment on Spotify, but we did receive 2 reviews on our iTunes podcast. So
yeah,
it was
that was
very
so exciting.
It really meant a
have
lot to us.
we have
for
a
the support.
podcast now on
Yeah,
iTunes.
I
mean,
know.
wow, yeah.
Crazy.
So if you like it, Amber, please give us, please give us a review or a thumbs up. It really, really does help.
And then after we come out with the woman podcast, we're going to continue it. We're going to come out with the LGBT podcast. And we're going to address what Trump has done for the LGBT community. There was a email that we received.
Yeah, we received an email from a person that asked to be anonymous. And I guess, this person is having a really hard time talking to people. And a lot of people are giving this person a hard time for being conservative and for supporting Trump. And they're really, really struggling. And so when we got this email, it really touched us. Because we know a lot of people in that situation. And specifically, this person asked us to talk about an article. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a BuzzFeed article or something. But basically it pointed out to 14 or 16 anti-gay or anti-LGBT things that Trump has done
supposedly
throughout his presidency. So, he asked us, or she asked us to this person asked us to address them.
Yeah.
And we will. So we'll address every single one of those points.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. And we'll also talk about, just in general, how Trump has benefited our community, definitely, in the U.S. So I think that would be something really cool to talk about. I'm very excited.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
Big hugs from Texas. All right, how's Texas doing?
Yeah, wow.
I feel like everybody is moving to Texas. Everybody from California is moving to Texas.
Basically, we were thinking of moving to Texas as well. We love Utah. We talked about wanting to move to Utah, but we thought about moving to Texas as well. But the reason why that's kind of out of the question is just the weather.
We can't do humidity. We're babies when it comes to humidity.
They really, really are.
Our hair fizzes up.
I think that's why Salt Lake City was really like winking at us because
Yeah.
it's not humid. Even though the summers are really intense, very, very hot.
Yeah.
So, ooh, wow, David, that is gutsy for you to wear your Trump 2020 apparel. We have our apparel, and we don't wear it in public because we know it's just not safe here.
No.
It's really not safe here. I think Utah is a lot more understanding, and I think it's a lot more understanding of everyone's I think opinions and positions, regardless of whether you're conservative or a liberal. I think Utah is very accepting, and I love it. Yeah. Really, really love it. Which is very interesting too, because Utah is so religious. It's the most religious state in the country.
Yeah, Utah's a red state.
So I think it's the reddest and the most religious, and it's so accepting. So I love it. Even in a red state, Ember, where do you live? Is it what city? Because is your city super liberal, or is it just, and that's why, or are you just worried about like some crazy nut jobs, that you might cross on the street or something? Okay. You're not a chicken. You're just being smart. You're being very, very smart. Because like I said, we don't wear ours just because we're really nervous, and we know it's not going to be safe. We really know it's not going to be safe here, for sure. So just take care of your safety.
Well, I love all of these comments. I'm just watching and looking and reading all of your guys' comments. Thank you so much for engaging with us. This is so much fun. I'm having
really
fun going live.
This is really, really cool. Oh, Florence, Arizona. Okay, and Mesa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mesa is pretty conservative in Arizona. We like Arizona a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to Arizona.
There's so much diversity in Arizona, from like going from Flagstaff to Phoenix, going from snow to desert. It's really fun.
Yeah. So in terms of times for podcasts, we usually so far we've usually released their podcasts on Fridays at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
But what we're going to do is we actually are switching it up. We're going to go live, and we're going to do drag live on Fridays at 3 p.m. Let us know if 3 p.m. is a good time. And then we're going to do our podcast maybe on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not sure yet. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll figure out when to post it. I know our goal is to go live before Shabbat. I think this is just going to be so exciting to go into Shabbat after talking to you guys and just really interacting. Excited. Yeah, it's really fun. And we were really nervous too.
Yeah,
because
I still am.
Still am, yeah. We didn't know, if anyone is going to care, if anyone's going to want to watch. And it's just very cool that you guys are here with us, during this experience. Next time we'll definitely come with kind of a list of questions that we received. Hi, Lily. In Miami. Love it. Wow. Cannot wear Trump gear. Yep. I know. It's very, very sad because, if you think about it, if people go to really conservative cities and they wear Biden apparel, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem. In 2016, when people wore Hillary apparel, I don't think anyone had a problem. It's just not fair. It's a real double standard. And it really shows you the militantism of people here in the U.S. It's very, very scary. And it's, it's that militantism that people are pushing.
Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
Hi, you're a Yankee boy?
In Pasadena. Wow, interesting.
Wow, interesting. I feel like Pasadena and also like Orange County has been always conservative. I grew up in Southern California, so I remember back in the day that Southern California was kind of split, more or less, conservative, liberal, but Orange County was always very conservative. So I feel like that still is there, which is actually, if you think of it, is kind of interesting because Orange County is one of the nicer counties. So being conservative and one of the nicer counties.
It's just very interesting because I wonder, I think a lot of conservatism is there, but I don't think it's majority conservative anymore.
No.
And it's really interesting how
just
much
when
California
I grew up,
is just like, county by county, city by city,
Yeah.
everything is turning more and more liberal. And it's sad because I think a lot of it is just because, the aging population ages out, conservatives are moving out,
Yeah.
and of course the younger population and, even people who I went to school with, they're not taught to question or think critically. And California, in their curriculum in schools, have a very specific point of view that they're pushing.
Yeah.
And so if you're
Clear agenda.
a very clear agenda,
Yeah.
and if you don't have the ability to be introduced to different points of views, and if you're not really taught to think critically, to analyze and to question what you're told, then you just grew up with this idea or perception, and that's why I think so many Californians are liberal, and why I think it's actually very sad and kind of bleak for conservatives in general, because before it used to, they used to say, when you're young, you're liberal, when you're older, you become a conservative. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore, because people are being taught completely differently
Interesting.
at schools and universities. And I think, again, social media, created bubbles for everyone to live in, so they're not exposed to other positions, and as a result, I don't think they're going to be changing theirs.
Yeah. Third party animal. I also lived in Alaska. I lived in Sitka, Alaska for a short period of time. I absolutely love Alaska. It is so beautiful. The air is so fresh there.
And the water is so clear.
So beautiful. Interesting that you don't see any conservative Trump signs around.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What city do you live in? I'm really curious. And I'm guessing it's probably because, I wonder if it's just because, Alaska is most likely going to go red this year. I wonder if it's just there's no need for it. Plus, I feel like people who live in Alaska, or people who move to Alaska, want to be removed from everything, and they're not
Juneau.
interested.
I love Juneau.
Oh, wow. Very, very cool. Yeah. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like people in Alaska want to be removed from all of the drama and the chaos that is happening, and they just want to live their lives, and live their lives, enjoy the nature, enjoy the beauty, and the small town feeling that Alaska provides. And maybe there's just no need to be so political there. It'd be interesting. We know where Syracuse is. Yeah, we've driven through it, actually, or by it a couple of times. So that's very, very cool. Okay. Very cool.
Oh, and Alabama.
Wow, interesting, David. Yeah, I'm really curious. Do you think, how do you think the election is going to go this time for Senate? Hi, Amy. Huh. I really wonder, do you think Doug Jones is going to get reelected? I really hope not. So I'm really curious to see what the results are going to be for Alabama. The smell, that's hilarious, yeah. So, yeah, there's just so much is happening, and I'm kind of very, very sad, because I feel like as Trump's term is coming to an end, his first term is coming to an end, we really are now seeing all the fruits from the labor that he's put in these past 4 years, and I don't feel like it's being talked enough.
Well, of course not. Of course.
And I don't think he gets a lot of credit for it either, which is really, it's very sad and it's very unfair, and I get it, coronavirus, takes up all the time in media.
Miss Rona. We should call it Miss Rona.
Miss Rona.
So we don't get flagged for
So we don't-
calling it the...
Miss Rona from now on. That's a good point, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, from now on, it'll be Miss Rona. Yeah. Well, yeah, Trump will win Alabama, but do you think Doug Jones is going to win? Hi, Julie.
Oh, that's great. Love it.
Oh my God! Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, we would love to visit Iowa. I think I visited almost like 40 states.
Yeah.
And did we drive through
I think
Iowa?
we drove through Iowa, yes. Yeah.
So yeah, we'd love to visit. We'd love to see Des Moines and just kind of like really experience it. Des Moines. Des Moines, thank you, yeah. Yeah, I really hope. I know he's the most vulnerable Democrat, but I don't know. I really don't know It's gonna be really interesting to see if he's gonna be able to squeak this one out.
God, I just love reading all of your guys'
Good.
like interaction.
Yeah, I mean, this is fascinating, Amy. Like, wow. I'm really glad we're not seeing it now, at least. Not, at least not in 2020. Thank goodness, yeah. But isn't it kind of weird, though? I feel like Biden finally came out of his basement. Now, there's all these reports about him using a teleprompter. The questions that he's being asked are softball questions. He's not being questioned when he, gives an unsatisfactory answer. I just don't understand why he's getting this pass. I really don't get it. And I don't get why people are not demanding for him to do more. And I think from my, Facebook friends, what I'm seeing a lot of people saying is, this is the best campaign they've seen in years. He's the best candidate they've seen in years, which I don't understand how. They think he's really handling being a candidate during the coronavirus very, very well. And I just think it's terrible. The way that he's handling it, and I just don't understand how people could trust him to run a country, right? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's basically anything but the orange man, as they would say.
I have not seen the interview with Cardi B. We haven't seen the interview with Cardi B. And yeah, I think we would love to.
Yeah, we're gonna have
something to see.
We're gonna have to watch that.
We'll watch it, and then we'll talk about it next Friday when we go live. Okay, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next time.
Thank you for the compliments on the makeup.
Can I have the pen?
Yep.
I'll write it down so I don't forget.
What's our predictions for the elections? Wow. Okay. Do we want to talk about that?
Sure. You go first because I think you have very interesting predictions. And then
I'm gonna just be straight up honest about the elections. I think it is going to be utter chaos. I think we already see that now. My fear is after the election that it's going to be. I think the media is going to spin things out of control. I think they're going to make it seem like we don't know who won. And I think that is going to create a lot of chaos. I think there's going to be a lot of chaos until January.
Well, there was a lot of chaos in 2016, and there was a lot of chaos in January, obviously, when he was sworn in.
Yeah.
And then it all kind of went away, which really goes to show you that, a lot of the people who are outside are literally just there because, they want the destruction. They want to destroy things. They want to instill violence in our society.
Yeah.
And as soon as things are done, they're no longer outside on the streets protesting because it's done. I don't think there's as excited about actually making changes when it really matters. And I think what the Democrats picked up on is that people are very emotional.
Yeah.
And so if you're able to kind of rile up all of these emotions, you're able to get a lot of people outside.
Mm-hmm.
But, emotions come and go. And obviously, there's very few values there for a lot of the people who are out there because they're using violence. And then, once the election is over and once the swearing in is over, people go home and continue with their lives.
But what is our predictions about winning? Do you think he's going to win?
I really hope so. I think it's going to be really, really close.
Obviously, we both do.
To be honest with you, my gut instinct tells me that he's going to squeak it out. That's what my gut instinct tells me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be really, really close. And I have to say, watching what's happening now makes me really, really nervous because I'm seeing Biden having a really large lead in the polls. And I know what people say, the polls were wrong in 2016. But what's scary to me this time is the fact that the polls show a much wider gap than the polls showed in 2016. So whereas the 2016 polls had Hillary Clinton winning by, 3 points or so, a lot of these polls that were taken had a margin of error of about 3.5%, maybe 4%, maybe 5%. So right in line of where, her lead was. And she did get, more 3% more in the popular vote. So what scares me this time is that Biden seems to be having a lead of 7 to 9 points by most polls, and specifically the one that I really care about is the Rasmussen poll, and that shows Biden with a consistent lead, even though just a few days ago it showed Trump with a 52% approval rating, and it still is not enough to bring him up and closer. And I think Rasmussen polls people on a daily basis, so it's probably the most accurate poll, and it's also the one poll that called the last few elections the most accurately. So I think, that's the one that I really looked at, and that's what really worries me. But I think he's going to be able to squeeze it out. My main concern and my biggest worry is that he's going to win the presidency, and the Republicans are going to lose the Senate, and Democrats are going to be able to squeak out a 51 majority. And I think if that happens and they have a majority in Congress, it's done. He's going to be impeached and ultimately removed, and that really scares me. Really, really scares me a lot. Yeah. So.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well, Amber, I don't think they're lying about the polls. I think what they're doing is, they're using an overly large sample of Democratic voters in each poll. So a lot of times when I read the polls, I'll read the fine line and I'll see how many people are surveyed, how many of them are independents, how many of them are Republicans, how many of them are Democrats. A lot of these polls survey people in general and not likely voters. And so that really makes a difference, because when you look at likely voters, you see that the polls are much closer than voters in general. But again, not close enough to where I would feel comfortable with Trump winning outright. But what they're doing is they're using an overly large sample of Democrats, which is why I really love the Rasmussen poll, because it's pretty accurately split even based on registration profiles in the U.S. So they'll do not exactly, but approximately 30% liberals, 30% conservatives, 30% independents. It's really less. I think it's like 20% independents, maybe like whatever 30-something% liberals, and like a 30%, 29% conservative, something like that. I don't remember the exact statistics, but so they're very, very accurate because the Democrats do hold the edge in party registration. So,
but we'll find out in November.
We'll find out. Yeah, definitely.
Well, hopefully we'll find out in November.
Oh, definitely, definitely, Lily.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I think, Justin, you're right, actually. People are really scared to say the truth in polls. And I think what we saw in 2016, it was actually kind of cool, because this is something that's been happening in other countries as well, where because the media is so liberal in a lot of countries, a lot of conservatives will lie to pollsters on purpose, just to make polls obsolete, because just like what you said, people are very, very angry at the way they're being portrayed in the media. So they'll just lie outright and say they're voting for a liberal candidate, but in reality they're planning to vote for a conservative Republican candidate. Again, what I think is really interesting, and I think in this election matters more, is not that people are lying. I think it's the fact that the sampling size that they use for Democrats and people who are registered as Democrats is really way overrepresented compared to their size in actual society. So that'll be interesting to see. But again, that's why I really like the Rasmussen polls. Also, the Economist poll is that's something that I really look at as well. Definitely. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has liked this video and gave us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel. Every time that you guys like it, it promotes it, especially when we go live. It promotes it so that other people will see that we're live. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, please like it. Wow, in like a second we got like four likes. So
thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And I have to say, this is kind of the coolest thing. We in our first podcast, I think we asked people to like and give us a thumbs up and comment. And because it really makes a difference, and you know, just in terms of the YouTube algorithm and
Yeah.
how much it gets out there.
Yeah.
And it made such a huge difference
It
because
really did.
you guys listened and you did it, and I know for a fact that we were exposed to more people.
Yeah.
So that was just incredible and
Yeah.
very, very exciting
Yeah.
for us.
We could see the direct results. Oh, my camera is dying.
Oh, should we close it? Is the camera dead? Oh no.
I think it.
Do you wanna get
maybe I
your-
pause it here? Press. Are we unfrozen? So I'm not sure what happened. So I think my battery is dying. So we're going to have to actually wrap this up.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
This is a little bit of a, you know, a trial and error.
Definitely trial and error. Little. Oh no. I think it keeps freezing.
It keeps freezing, but we're gonna keep. Okay, so we'll have to go. We just want to thank you guys so very much. Please help us like share this, share our podcasts, share our content, and not because, you know, just for us. Obviously, it's nice to have our channel grow, but our goal of doing this is to speak to as many people as possible and just get information out there that is not readily accessible to people and available.
Yeah.
And so that is our goal. And if you're being told that everything you see on YouTube is fake, if it's, you know, positive when it comes to Trump or conservatives, if you're being told that Fox News is fake, then, you know, we provide those resources so that you can actually show people and say, no, this was, you know, on NPR. No, this was on Forbes. No, this was on the Washington Post. Because they'll still, you know, in order to pretend like they have journalistic integrity, they'll still publish the news. They'll just, you know, might not publish it in the newspaper. They'll do maybe like one article and publish it online, and you have to really, really look for it and find it.
You can't
and
find
dig
it on
for
Google.
And you can't find it on Google, which is really frustrating and very, very sad. Luckily, DuckDuckGo has been amazing for us. We still use Google sometimes when DuckDuckGo doesn't provide us with the answers we need.
Lily, thank you. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to go Shabbat now.
Yes.
So just to let you guys know, we plan on coming out with live like this every Friday at 3 p.m. So we will see you guys next Friday.
Next Friday at 3 p.m. Yeah, let us know if the time works. And if you prefer a different time, let us know. We just kind of thought this would be the most convenient time, you know, for most people. But we don't know if that's the case. So let us know what time you prefer. And let us know where you're from, too. So we know, you know, what city and time zone.
I just wish we had some kind of like music, like some like dance out music.
Next time, we'll bring our music. Yeah.
Some music.
I think it was a pretty successful first time
I
going live.
think so too. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and we will see you guys next Friday.
Bye.
Now I don't know how to stop it. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.